Welcome back to Mock the Mock, where we take a look at someone else's mock draft and I'm mocking, giving you my views, thoughts, and opinions. Today we're looking at Todd McShay has a 2-round mock. We're gonna dip into that, but what's crack-a-lacking? It's your boy Broshmo. Just in case you did not know, so go ahead, become bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. There will be a walk the mock tonight, so be on the look for that. Let's go ahead, dive into this sucker. As I'm kind of curious if there's trades in this. Haven't looked at it yet, but I guess let's just go ahead and get in. Yeah, CJ Stroud going to the Carolina Panthers. Do maybe a quick read, quick look at his blurb here. We know the Panthers are drafting a quarterback. They have been searching for a long-term fix and sent a big bag of assets to Chicago to jump the order, blah, 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 but we still don't know for sure which quarterback they want. We might not have an answer until the pick is announced, and I'm not sure Carolina even knows just yet. I project Bryce Young here in my last mock, but I'm going, okay, so basically saying you could go either way. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud. I did Young last time. Let's switch back to Stroud, or let's switch to Stroud for this one. So okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead to the Texans, which I imagine is Bryce Young. And it is, in fact, Bryce Young. He is my top quarterback too, Todd McShay. Thank you. Thank you. I really think D'Amico Ryans goes ahead, takes his top quarterback here, and I wholeheartedly believe that pick 12 is going to be a defensive pick. It's not going to be a wide receiver. Though I wouldn't mind a wide receiver. I would actually love a wide receiver that pick as well. But I really feel like with how they didn't really attack the defensive line in free agency, I really feel like that'll probably be a D-line pick. All right. We got, is it going to be Arizona picking? No, he's projecting trades. Okay. Well, a trade. Probably just this only trade. I mean, it's a 2-rounder. It's kind of a tough one to do trades with. Basically, the Colts are not going to take chances. They're moving up to get their quarterback, so they go ahead and get Anthony Richardson. Cardinals move down. I imagine they're going to get Will Anderson. So Colts, they snag their quarterback. Now, the question is, where does Levis go in this draft? Seattle, Detroit, Las Vegas, maybe Tampa? Does a team move up for him? So that is going to be the next question. I really think it could go either way with Richardson or Levis. I think both can be Shane Steichen guys. So, all right, Will Anderson. Let's go ahead and see it. It's Will Anderson, Cardinals. They get the top non-quarterback prospect. And I think if they do want to stay at pick, or if they do want to get Will Anderson, you could probably, ideally, you're trading with the Colts. Like, you trade back any further, even like trade into 5. Maybe a 5, like, yeah, maybe 5's fine. But ideally, you're not pushing it past that, because then you just kiss Will Anderson goodbye. At least that's what I believe. So, yeah, Cardinals go ahead to get a blue chip talent. Seattle Seahawks get Jalen Carter. Seattle would be an interesting spot here. See what else. How high are they on Levis? Could they take advantage of the draft slot by selecting a quarterback in the future? Does Tyree Wilson make sense, considering edge rushing is the team's biggest need? How does having the number 20 pick impact what they do here? So he's going through a lot of variables, but I mean, I have a hard time thinking Carter falls past 5 or 6 if he's still on the board. It really depends how you feel about it. Some people are really sticklers when it's like his pro day really sucked, and it's like, guys put out 2 years of beautiful, like, elite tape. If you're gonna base your decision on one workout, then okay, cool. Detroit Lions, Tyree Wilson. I actually like the fit of Tyree Wilson here. You could also make a case that they could go corner. As Todd also says here, I also considered the secondary with a handful of top-tier cornerbacks on the board. The Lions have been aggressive. Yeah, they've been aggressive, but I mean, mostly it's a 1-year deal. Kuda's free agent after this season. Like, it's definitely in the wheelhouse, but Tyree Wilson, I think, is also a good fit. Someone, I think, in my comments, I forgot who, but they were like, so basically Tyree Wilson would fill the Josh Pascal role. It's like, Pascal was a day 2 pick. Sorry. All right, Raiders, Devon Witherspoon. So the Levis fall, it will continue. I mean, I don't think Atlanta will take him. But then it's like, are we getting a trade at pick 9 or 10 or even 8? I don't know. We'll see. I think Witherspoon's a very, very good pickup. Good scheme fit for the Raiders. For a team that really just has Nate Hobbs at the cornerback position. Right here, when he says they signed Brandon Faison. It's a good depth guy, but I prefer if he didn't start. Atlanta Falcons, Christian Gonzalez. Nice blend of speed and athleticism. Big fan. Think he's a good fit for the new coaching regime there on the defensive end. All right, Chicago Bears. They keep the pick. They get Peter Skoronski. So I am kind of curious. Nate Davis. Like, this is the thing with offensive line. It's kind of weird for the Bears right now. Like, sneaky, I think they have a good offensive line. But they brought in Nate Davis, who likely plays right tackle, which means Tevin Jenkins. Does he move to left tackle, or does he... excuse me. Nate Davis played right guard. Basically, his whole career, dating back to Tennessee and in Charlotte. So, do you make the move from Davis going from right guard to left guard, or do you do that with Tevin Jenkins? Are you moving Jenkins to right tackle? Cody Whitehair, is he going to be moving to center, staying at left guard? Like, there's a lot of questions. Peter Skoronski being a versatile just player along the offensive line kind of helps a little bit with some of those answers. So, I'm kind of cool with that. And Philadelphia Eagles, Lucas Van Ness. So maybe he's not doing... Maybe that Colts Cardinals pick was the only trade. Which, if that's the case, man, it's going to be very freaking interesting to see where Will Levis goes. But Lucas Van Ness going to the Eagles here to get a pretty versatile pass rusher that could kick inside, played 3-tech in 2021. He's got a mean bull rush on the outside and just kind of opens up a lot. It's kind of a good can opener, so to speak, on like stunts and such. So, yeah, Lucas Van Ness, he's, for a lot of people, edge 3 in this class. Not mine. But we'll talk about my edge rankings, I think, next week. Tennessee Titans take Jackson Smith and Jigba. Man, this has become a popular one, too. The question is, how comfortable are you with Treylon Burks on the outside? And I feel like last year, he was fine on the outside, so you could be looking for slot guy. That's right, Jackson Smith and Jigba, to me, is a slot-only guy. By slot-only, I mean the dude's going to play like 60 to 70% of his snaps in the slot. But they still need to find that outside guy, which is fine. Like, Smith and Jigba really opens up the offense as well. So, like, I don't mind this pick, but I think it's better value if you go tackle. And then you look at day 2, like, the drop-off isn't nearly as much at the wide receiver position that it is at the offensive line position. Because they'll probably be looking at, like, Bergeron. They'd rather take one of, like, the center prospects. Because they got Brewer at center, but he ain't no good. But they could also use a guard. So, like, Avila, I think, is kind of in the wheelhouse on day 2 if they do take Jackson Smith and Jigba. Oh, this is a day 2 one, too. Well, second round. So I really can't wait to see it. Nolan Smith. Holy moly. So not the typical pass rusher we've seen from from D'Amico Ryan's time over there with the Niners. I'm not against it. I'm not against it. This dude is explosive. Very, very explosive. Dang, so Todd McShay's really looking at him in a off-ball role on early downs. I'm not positive he can do that consistently. Then again, I mean, with Smith, it might be something he could potentially do early in his career. And I don't know. I think he's at his best rushing the passer. They might just go the Micah Parsons route where it's like, okay, you play him a little off ball, but it's like he's so good of an edge rusher that now, you know what? You're just going to get after it on the edge consistently. So, no, we'll see. We'll see. Jets take Paris Johnson. Sorry, Jets fans. It's just tackles, kind of one of the best picks here. Kind of is. So we are talking trades in this mock draft. Because we actually just had a trade. So I feel like I've kind of talked a ton about Jets take a tackle here, like in a lot of my videos. So it's like, it's kind of beating a dead horse. But the Bucks trade up with the Patriots, which I'm not going to lie, I would not. I really feel like the Patriots might sit here and just take Will Levis. Be like, yeah, Mac Jones, he ain't all that great. I'm not going to lie. I think that could be something that happens. So what? I think the Buccaneers would have to surrender 19. Well, a third rounder and one of their 2 fifth rounders. I think it might cost a 4th. But it is what it is. So this is Will Levis. Yeah. So, wow. Okay. He ended up doing the trade anyway. It just went down a little further. I really would have made this move with the Eagles. Typically is a team I like to trade up with if I'm the Buccaneers. But honestly, I think the Bucks, this is a good move if Will Levis starts to fall. I really do. Baker, it's not likely your franchise guy. He's on a 1-year deal. Trask, he was a day 2 pick. Go ahead, snag Levis, who could probably start tomorrow, and at least, like, he knows what it is to deal with a bad offensive line. He's mobile. It's not like Brady, who have to get the ball out quick, and it's not like he can buy time or create or improvise. Like, Will Levis is capable of that. So I like this pick for Tampa. Miles Murphy going to the Green Bay Packers. Murphy has pro day. Looked fast. Ran that 4.52. Love to see it. I kind of like receiver here for the Packers. Honestly, I think Jackson Smith and Jigba is kind of the guy. Really do think that's the case. But I like Murphy here. They could definitely go with Murphy with Rashawn Gary coming off an ACL. Joey Porter going to the Commanders. Another one we see quite a bit. They want to get more physical at the corner position. Joey Porter allows them to do that. He is a very physical corner. Good scheme fit, too, for Del Rio's scheme there. Broderick Jones going to the Steelers. Here, let me just go ahead and bump this sucker down. But Broderick Jones going to the Steelers. I think he's probably plug and play. Sorry, Dan Moore. Get the heckles on out of here or move to the right side. Battle out with a core of 4. But I think Steelers, I think there's a good chance they take tackle here at 17. Maybe. Detroit Lions, Bijan Robinson. This is another popular mock spot. Jamal Williams is gone. They did sign David Montgomery, but I don't think that stops me from bringing in Bijan. Swift struggles to stay healthy. He's also in the final year of his deal, as McShay kind of talks about here. But Yeah, no, Bijan ends up being, I think, a good pick at 18, but I think I have a feeling he goes higher than this. New England Patriots, they ended up with Darnell Wright, so they get that right tackle. Trent Brown, they're playing left. Riley Reef, really kind of a Band-Aid. They also brought in Calvin Anderson, who's actually a really good, I would say a really good depth piece. So, yeah, no, I think this is a good pick here for the Patriots, Seattle Seahawks. Zay Flowers, I kind of like the idea of the Seahawks getting a vertical burner here. There with guys like DK and Tyler Lockett. I really, really like that, actually. I've kind of opened up to receiver for this pick for Seattle. For me, it's kind of the ideal pick. They went Jalen Carter early, so it's like it's an edge deep class. If you really want an edge that bad, then you could go ahead and snag one at somewhere on day 2. Chargers, Kalijah Kancey. Oh man, like Kancey, I worry about his run defense. Like, despite his size, he was a solid run defender, but I'm not gonna lie, I have my questions. Can he do that in the NFL? The severe lack of length. Will he be able to keep his pads clean for the most part? I don't know. I'm not positive that he can do it. Quentin Johnson going to the Ravens here. I think that's a great pick. Forgot Johnson was even on the board, man. It blows my mind. He keeps falling, but I think that'd be really good here for Lamar. Maybe it helps Lamar want to come back after saying, "Nah, I want to be traded." I think, hey, you go out, you get receivers, you get playmakers, and be like, "No, Lamar, we want to get a deal done. We are willing to invest in you." So I think, I don't know, man. Part of me still thinks at the end of the day, Baltimore and Lamar come to a deal, like an agreement, like a contract, not like a trade. But yeah, I guess we'll see. Minnesota Vikings, they go Hendon Hooker. Nah, dude, nah, bro. I think this is too nuts. If it happens on draft night, then yeah, man, it's gonna blow my mind. But essentially, probably ends up redshirting his rookie season anyway. I mean, you got Kirk Cousins there, so it's fine. But I guess it's important you get that 5th-year option. Yeah, I mean, I'm not in the camp of Hendon Hooker in the first round. I like him better as maybe, like, if you want to talk about somewhere around the top 50, you start to consider him. I think I get on board on that. But like here, I think it's kind of ludicrous, man. If you want to hear my take on Hendon Hooker, go check out my quarterback rankings, my final ones. They're on the channel. Jaguars take Dalton Kincaid. Uh-oh, throwing a little shade there at Evan Ingram, who's on the franchise tag. I think that's fine. I kind of prefer to take a tackle here. I don't think Anton Harrison could be a consideration. Brian Branch, I think, is still on the board. I think that would be really nice as well. Deontay Banks. So the Giants, they go Emmanuel Forbes. Man, what, they want to be as small at receiver as they are at or as small at cornerback as they are at receiver, because they got some guys that are like Flott small, Holmes small. Was it Aaron Robinson, right? That Central Florida, sub arm length. Like, you gotta be curious about Forbes, man. So I'm not positive this is a great fit. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I kind of like Forbes better at the beginning of round 2, because I think that being 166 is kind of a concern. Like, I thought he was probably playing at 175 last season. He was listed at 180, but I was like, he's smaller than that. He's a little wiry. But then I was like, 166, if that was his playing weight, dude, that's going to be a big concern in the NFL. Dallas Cowboys, Michael Mayer. You would think with Kellen Moore gone, they won't have to like dip into these tight end. Like dip into the tight end again. Like, oh, Schultz is gone. We need to replace him. Weren't you doing that with guys like Peyton Hendershot and Jack Ferguson? Like Jake Ferguson. There we go. So I don't know. There's other picks here I think I'd rather for the Cowboys. So what? This is the tight end 2 off the board. Let's see if we go 3. I've been looking at a lot of mocks that have 3 tight ends gone in the first round. Buffalo Bills take Jordan Addison. Ooh. I mean, doesn't that just feel like more Stephon Diggs? Really good route runner with good speed. Like, how big is Diggs? Oh, he's got like 20. Diggs has got like 20 pounds on stinking Addison, though. Not in love with this. I think the move is to go tackle. I really do. Or offensive line in some facet. Bengals, they're going... Oh, Deonte Banks, which is interesting. Doesn't feel like a necessary scheme fit, but I think he could play zone fine. Coach Lou's really good at playing his players to their strengths. Funny enough, I'm pretty sure Deonte Banks is comp. I released my cornerback rankings yesterday. Top 15, by the way. But my comp for Deonte Banks was actually Eli Apple. So it kind of makes all the sense in the world. Wow. So, hey, maybe we don't see another tight end in the first round. Yay. Man, I love Adetomiwa Adebari out of Northwestern. I'm a big fan. I think he's a first round pick. Does he go in the first round? I think a lot of people see him as fringe, but I would take him in the first round. I'm a big fan. The Niners, the Saints, they need more help on the defensive line. This team, look at this. New Orleans was last in the NFL in pass rush win rate, 28.5%. They were 25th in run stop win rate, 28%. Fun fact, I got my own stats. They were fourth. They were fourth worst. There we go. In pressure. Don't you tell me just because this team had a lot of sacks, they're gonna get in after it. Stupid. I feel like Randy Orton, dude. Stupid. Oh, man. Will McDonald going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Didn't they get Lucas Van Ness? Right? Or was it Peter Skoronski? Oh, no. They got Lucas Van Ness. Well, does that feel like a bit of overkill? Are you already looking ahead to like life after Hassan Reddick? I don't know, man. The double dip's a little weird to me. Kansas City Chiefs, Felix DK Uzama. He is a popular guy right now being mocked to the Chiefs a lot. At least I've seen it a lot in other people's mocks. It kind of feels like this pick is going to be edge for the Chiefs, so good on them. Felix DK Uzama, I'm glad he got a little shine. All right, I'm not really going to go through the blurbs here, but Mozzie Smith going to Steelers. I'm going to just kind of run through round 2. If you want to check out his mock, you can check it out for yourself, or at least his round 2. I'm just going to kind of fly through these. Hyatt, so Hyatt's like what they lost there in Cooks. Gibbs, I don't like Gibbs is the pick the Cardinals don't need to make. Attack higher value positions. You're a team that's basically in a rebuild. Wow, this is the highest I've seen Julius Brents go. I think he's a good fit for the defense, though. Good fit for Gus. Keely Ringo. Wow, this is the highest I've seen Ringo go in some time. I will say that. We got Keon White to the Seahawks. Brian Brazil. Cyrus Torrance finally off the board there. Don't know. Washington to the Saints. That doesn't really move the needle. Drew Sanders to the Titans. I was saying, man, this was probably should have been like an offensive line pick, but is what it is. There goes Joe Tipman, Brian Branch. Oh, Brian Branch was still freaking on the board at 43. Wild. Keanu Benton. We got Musgrave. Turner. I'm just here to see any surprise names. There's Cam Smith at 49. Anton Harrison. I feel like I'm a bit higher on him than the general consensus. Dwan Jones going to the Dolphins at 51. There goes our right tackle problems. Vila Charbonnet. Don't love the running back for the Bears, but it is what it is. This is the highest I have seen Brenton Strange. I think he is super mediocre, like super mid. Could be a okay starting tight end, but never maybe like a top 10 or 15 guy. I dug into Strange's tape recently. He's one of the most underrated players in this class despite mediocre production and combine results. He accelerates well and can stretch the seam. He is competitive as an inline blocker. Oh, man. Wow. Okay, Shay. Well, that makes one of us. All right, there's Tyreek Stevenson. Gets to stay in Florida. Good for him. Riley Moss, this feels a little high for Riley Moss, but I get some people might be high on him. Jonathan I was gonna say not really surprised by much of else, but okay. I think I heard about Mingo was like in a first round mock for somebody. Can't remember who, but it's good to see Mingo being more talked about in the day 2 conversation. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing as always. Until next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.